Hello, my name is Constance Anderson, and today we're going to be sharing some information about fibromyalgia and how to work with it with natural remedies. Now, I don't want to just be a talking head, but we're going to have another presentation later on. And if you're interested in specifics or things like that, please make sure that there's going to be a way that you can get me that information or those questions. Okay? It's going to be practical and it's going to be informative. Oh my goodness, I forgot. The board is backwards. So I'm going to have to explain to you everything that's on it. That's from my old homeschooling days. So this board is at least 20 years old. This board, but the felt's on is about 20 years. But anyway, my name is Constance Anderson, and it is a pleasure to be on the virtual Veg Fest with you. And because I didn't want to miss anything, yes, I do have notes. So it's good to have dummy notes or idiot cards, whatever you want to call them. But let's talk a little bit about fibromyalgia. What is it? Fibromyalgia, and men and women both get fibromyalgia, but more so, I think it's like 80-90% is women. So it's a chronic, which means persisting for a long time and reoccurring. It's an illness. It's a problem. Excuse me. What it does. Excuse me. What it does is it causes severe pain in your tender. There's 18 spots that get very tender, and when a person is touched, there it might, to a normal person, you could go like that and it wouldn't bother them. But to someone with fibromyalgia, if they're having a flare up, just a touch like that could be extremely, extremely painful. And I am a sufferer of fibromyalgia. Uh, so let me tell you a little bit about it. The symptoms. It's widespread pain throughout the body. It can be mild to severe. It can cause sleep problems, fatigue. It can be mild or intense, mental and or emotional distress. People, like I was telling you before, with fibromyalgia are often more sensitive to pain than those who don't have it, which is abnormal pain perception. Like I was explaining to you, you could go like this to someone who doesn't have fibromyalgia and it will be normal, or you could go like this. But to someone with fibromyalgia, it could be extremely painful. Okay, now this is it's not the part I like, but it's the part that's very interesting. It's characterized by tingling, burning, stabbing, stinging, throbbing, nerve sensitivity. And I can honestly tell you from personal experience that is true. Sometimes it's all of that, sometimes it's different parts of that. Have you ever, I know you have, your foot is going to sleep or your hand is going to sleep? Think about that feeling, that tingling feeling, but maximize like 100 times over. And that's why sometimes it's hard to explain. It's just extreme. It even hurts to wear clothes, which is kind of weird, but it does. Depending on your flare, depending on what's going on with you, it's different with every person. And sometimes you can't tell until you're touched that, oh, that hurts. I remember one time I was at a meeting and someone wanted to shake my hand and it was extremely painful. And so then another time somebody wanted to give me like, don't touch me, don't touch me. And they were like, what? But then I had explained to them, because depending on your sensitivity, it it really is not comfortable at all, to say the least. Okay. The causes, there's different viewpoints. Medical science really doesn't know. They used to say that it was in people's heads. And it was like, oh, it's just in your head. But it's not. Through repetitive people coming in with the same complaint, uh, the stress or trauma, different things, post-trauma stress disorder, emotional or psychological pain can cause this. And it is a form of post-trauma stress disorder because it usually has happened after like a stress. It could have been years of stress. Uh, childhood things that have a lot of stress on the adrenals have developed into post-trauma stress disorder. And there are different triggers. You may be going along fine, and then all of a sudden you may have a trigger that will give you a flare up, like stress, a viral infection, even good or bad stress. You could be in an abusive relationship, um, different things, the death of a loved one, just too much stress on the body would activate the nerves to just sort of like freak out. Okay. Um, there are conditions that are associated with it. Osteoarthritis is one, rheumatoid arthritis is another, and lupus. I remember my mother she had lupus, she had fibromyalgia, she had rheumatoid arthritis, and probably a few other things I didn't know about. But I didn't get diagnosed till about 2 years after she died. And I think because I really didn't grieve and just all the stress from a child on up, it just finally, my body was like, the nerves were just like worn out. And your nerves get worn out, your adrenals. So there's things you want to do to feed those nerves. And you want to limit your stress. So that's very important. And we're going to talk about that a little later. Okay. Uh, okay, I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anything. That's why I'm looking at my notes. Okay. Um, when I didn't really know I had fibromyalgia, what happened was at different periods I was working, I would just get really, really weak. And I would sit down and I couldn't get up. And it was like I weighed 1,000 pounds. And I remember I had to call someone to come and get me, and they came and got me and took me to my oldest daughter's house, and I stayed with her a few weeks and until it subsided. And another time, it was like 4 months, and so uh, I finally went to the doctor, and I went to a doctor's office in Tennessee, but it was run by a nurse practitioner, and he was very, very nice. And he just talked about how I was feeling and different things. And then he told me, he said, well, let me try this, you know. And so I was sitting on the exam table, and he took his fingers like this, and he pressed these points in my back. It was like 2, 4, 6. And before he got to the last one, I was like screaming in pain, and I jumped off the table. And he was like, you have fibromyalgia. And I was like, well, how do you know? His mother has fibromyalgia. So it was good that he understood the illness and he had experience with it. His mother had it. So he was like, that's what the problem is. And so I was in denial for a while. Because you don't want to be sick. The first time when I was out and I couldn't get up, um, I was really scared. It was like I couldn't move, like I was paralyzed, and I was like, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? Will I ever be the same? Will I ever be able to get up and function normally? Because I couldn't get up. My body was so weak, and it was just uh, it was just really crazy, and you wouldn't think they would believe you, but it's like you can't. Your body is really heavy and you can't get up. And I went through that for a while. I went through denial for a while. You don't want to be sick, or you get tired of being sick and tired of being sick. And then it's like, well, you just keep pushing and keep pushing, and your body gets weaker and weaker and weaker. And finally, you have to decide, okay, I have this. What is this? And I have to look at it, and I don't have to go all the way to the left, but I need to find out what is my body going through. And so, like I said, my mom had it. I didn't have a clue, and I wasn't really trying to get one. I just know she would be in the bed a lot, and one thing that's different that with my mother is she passed in 2006, and I was diagnosed in 2008. And I've been a vegetarian. I've been a complete vegetarian for about 33 years, and I went back and forth a little bit with lacto ovo, but I've been a complete vegetarian about 33 years, and my mother was not a vegetarian. She liked different things, and she ate whatever she wanted to eat, and she was sick a lot. And when I found out about the lupus and whatnot, I was thankful for my diet because it could have been a lot worse. And I can tell when I eat different things, and just because something is vegan doesn't mean it's good for you. Okay, I found out that sugar, it like really makes your pain jump off the chart. Caffeine makes your pain jump off the chart. Uh, like a lot of fried things, things that are, they can be vegan, but they're not healthy and they're not food. Everything that we eat is not food. Right. So I started looking and paying attention to my body because your body will talk to you. And a lot of times people don't listen. They'll say, oh, all of a sudden, oh, I just got sick. All of a sudden. You didn't just get sick all of a sudden. Your body's been building up, and you just been ignoring the symptoms, or you didn't have symptoms. Do you know now children are getting diagnosed with heart disease, more children with diabetes, more children with atherosclerosis, hardening of the arteries? Why? Because you are what you eat. And so, as I paid more attention to my body and how I was feeling in relation to what I ate, there were certain things I had to take out of my diet, even though I was a strict vegetarian, and there was things that I need to put back into my diet or that I wasn't getting enough of. Uh, okay, I want to make sure. Oh, yeah, I wanted to cover this too. Um, when they don't know what's going on with you, a lot of times they'll give you different things like prednisone packs or just different medications. And a couple of things. One of the things I remember what they gave me, I was out of it. I lost the whole day. I don't remember what happened, but I was down and I could not get up. And I said, I am not doing this. Lord, there's got to be a better way for my food to really be my medicine. And so that's one of the reasons that I consented to do this presentation to help others. And like I said, I will make sure you have my phone number if you have any questions. Uh, if you would like a presentation in your area, if that's possible, we'll see about my schedule. And because there's a lot of people out there that's hurting and don't even know why. And some people are afraid to know what's going on with the body. Some people are in denial and they're nowhere near Africa, you know. So that's one of my dry jokes. But anyway, we need to pay attention to what our bodies are telling us because you don't want to say, okay, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. And then 3 or 4 years down the road, you're flat on your back with no way up because you've been ignoring your body instead of your body crying for help. Your body may be crying for water, crying for nutrition, crying for rest, crying for sunshine, crying for exercise. And you can't just treat your body any way you want and expect it to just be your friend and just continue to lift you up while you continue to beat it down. And I had to realize that. Even though people say, well, it's my body, I can do what I want to with it. But if you don't take care of your body as best as you can, then somebody's going to be taking care of you. And I don't want my kids having to take care of me. I love my children, but I do not want to live with my children. I told them this over and over. If I get real sick, buy one of them little cottages, put it in the bag, give me a bell or a phone, and I will call you if I need you. Don't bother me if I don't need you. I will be fine. You can come check on me. I'll be right up here in my little cottage. So we love our children dearly, parents, and our children can be wonderful. I have two of the most wonderful daughters. They're my daughters. But they love them, but they're not gonna let me have what I want to have if I want to have it. But I got 3 grandsons. I already got my stuff together. So if my daughter's gonna let my grandson, Bryce, Jonathan, and Rona, they say, Grandma, I got you, Grandma G, I got you. So I made like snacks, like, whatever. But but don't tell nobody. I told you that. It's just between us. All right. So um I told you about the story about the nurse practitioner. I told you about the history from 2008. My mother got diagnosed. Well, she had been diagnosed for years, but I didn't have a clue what fibromyalgia was, and I didn't need to know. I just know she was sick. So if a person is sick for a long time, it's just like they're sick. Like when a child, like a grandchild is born and their grandparent is sick, well, they just sick. They just been sick all the time. It's, you don't really think about it until it hits you. All right. So, like I said, I was in the now for a while, and I just know that it hurt, and then I got weak, but I just pushed on anyway. And I was a vegetarian then already, but the reason I became a vegetarian when my youngest daughter was 3. So I think that's like 88. And the reason I became a vegetarian is because I like to study the Bible, I like to do things with people, and I like to research. And my mind was, I had problems with memorizing and concentrating and things like that, which is also another symptom of fibromyalgia. Well, that's fibromyalgia and lupus. Lupus and fibromyalgia kind of go together. And my mother had a butterfly on her face, but you don't always have a butterfly. It was kind of weird. I had a spot on my knee that would come and go. It was about this big, and it would come and go. And I went to a program in Phoenix, Arizona, where they have all these doctors and dentists and people come out in a sports arena or whatever and treat people who don't have medical insurance or who need help. And I said, I'm going to ask about this. And so I went and I talked to uh, one of the doctors, and I asked him to look at that. She said, I don't know. I'm going to call the other doctor. And so she called him, and he looked at me. And he asked me, did I have lupus? And I hadn't gotten diagnosed at the time. I had fibromyalgia, but I hadn't got diagnosed at the time. And I was, how you have this feeling in the back of your mind that you think something, but you really like, no, no. I was like, oh, okay, no, I don't. So, but it's still in the back of your mind. And there's a special test for lupus, and every few years or whatever, I would get it. It's called a titer for the test. So since my mother had it, I would get the titer done every so often. So I remember I was having some issues. I lived in Arizona, and I said, I'm going to go to the doctor and have her draw that test. So I had to do the test, and I didn't hear anything. So I was like, okay. So then at the same time, period, within a couple of weeks, I was having a knee issue. So I went to an orthopedic. And I think he did a titer also. Why, I don't know, but he did a titer. I guess I told him my history and whatnot. And come to find out, he told me that I had lupus. And I said, really? I said I had a titer a couple of weeks ago, and they didn't say anything. So I called back and talked to the medical assistant in the office. I said, I had a test done, a titer done for lupus. I said, did it come back? What was it? And the medical assistant said it was positive. I said it was positive. Well, why didn't the doctor tell me? She said, because your numbers were so low. Ah! I was so angry. How can people take the position of God and not telling people what's going on with them? Granted, my numbers are low, but still a person has the right to know. How, if I just never got the other test, I would have never known. And see, that's why it's important that you take charge of your health, that you be responsible for asking the questions. There's ways to do it. One of the ways that I use is if I have to go to the doctor, I say, well, can you please write this down? Because I'm going to have to explain this to my children. So I need to be able to explain it to them in an intelligent manner. That way they'll give you the information. So you have it for yourself. You don't even have to have children. Well, I'm not saying lie, but somebody that you're accountable for. So say, I need to be able to explain this and understand it. Don't let them push you around. Don't let them tell you, oh, well, we don't have time or whatever. Get your test results. Say, I don't understand what you're telling me. Can you please break it down? Those doctors that just want to rush in the office and rush out, don't go for that. You want to know what's going on. And if they want more tests, you want to know why do they want the test. Don't just let them do the test. There was a test that I had to have. I had that test. The test came back okay. And there was another test that they wanted me to take. And personally, I felt I didn't need it. And I was talking to the doctor on the phone. And do you know he hung up on me because I didn't want to have that test? So I'm just saying, take charge of your body. Take charge of your physical, spiritual, and mental health. Ask questions. If you don't have a good memory, write stuff down so that if you need it later on, you will have it. If you have high blood pressure or whatever, keep track of what your blood pressure is. Through the natural remedies that I'm going to be sharing with you, my past mother-in-law, she was 84. She was on 2 high blood pressure medications and a cholesterol medication and 2 other medications. She was on a total of 5 medications. And through, a healthy diet and some supplements, within 3 to 6 months, she was off all 5 medications. And the doctor was ecstatic. Her doctor was very, very happy that she was doing well. So we need to take responsibility. And if there's things we don't know, we need to ask. Okay, somebody can give us that information. Okay, so back to the story. Okay, so one of the main reasons I became a vegetarian in 1983, I had hot knees. My knees were red. I couldn't hardly walk upstairs, and they were very, very painful. So my mother took me to her doctor because she thought I had arthritis because those are arthritis symptoms. And I had the test. The doctor said she doesn't have arthritis. So I'm like, she doesn't have arthritis. So I was really glad, but I'm like, okay. So I'm like, what can I do? And the thought came to my mind, we'll get off the white sugar. So I was like, okay, because I had taken some health classes. And so I got off the white sugar products and I was fine. The hot, because they were hot to the touch, they were red, they were very painful. Getting off the white sugar and the products cleared it up. Cleared it up. I have never had those symptoms, and I was in my 20s then, so it makes a difference. Uh, I became a strict vegetarian because I got clear brain function. My joint pain was much better. My mental, physical, the whole outlook. It just really opened up the world to me. And I had 2 young children at the time. I took classes because I wanted to make sure that they got the nutrition that they needed. As I say, you can't get good nutrition without meat and certain things. But I did see a nutritionalist, and it worked out good. They both grew up healthy, other than maybe different things that they have maybe inherited or something like that. But they didn't have any problems being sick in their childhood because of a poor diet. The secret in a vegetarian diet is variety of colors. Variety of colors mean variety of nutrients. Health is wealth. And if we don't understand that now, sometimes it can be too late. But health is wealth. All right. There's different grades of food. You have your fresh, you have your frozen or freeze dried, and then you have canned. Fresh and frozen is better than canned because a lot of times there's different additives, there's salt, there's sugar, there's a lot of things that you don't know because they're preserving it. Unless you're doing your own canning, then you know what's going into it. Diet is everything. Okay. I don't know if you heard about the GLAD diet and the SAD diet. The SAD diet is the standard American diet. The GLAD diet is God's life activating diet. That's grains, fruits, nuts, and vegetables. That's the diet from the Garden of Eden. Okay? That's the diet from the Garden of Eden. I had to develop a new mindset and because you have these habits, these old habits, and you want to change your habits. A lot of people think, I can't afford their food, it's very expensive. Now, what I'm talking about, I'm not talking about. Uh, there's a lot of things out there called analogs. Analogs are is fake meat, fake vegetarian meat, like corned beef, corn dogs, um, ham, turkey, different things like that. That was made for a transition. Oh, like the different burgers that you hear about. Okay, I'm not gonna mention any names. So that's like transition. But after a while, I decided I want everything to be grains, fruits, nuts, and vegetables. Make it as simple as possible. If you've seen Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, Forks Over Knives, Rescue Engine 2, you've heard different stories about people who were obese and who had diabetes. My family laughed at me. My family laughed at me. But let me tell you this: the first time my mother did too, she thought I was crazy. But the first time she made a Easter dinner for us, me and my girls, and it was vegetarian. She just put a little black pepper and salt in it. She had mashed potatoes, gravy. It brought me to tears because she that means she respected my right to be a vegetarian, you know, and that's important. People want their rights respected, but they don't want to respect your rights. Like people say, why are you making your children be a vegetarian? Well, why are you making your children eat meat? That's just the choice that I make. I'll make my choice, and let me make my choice, and you make your choice. And some people are like the angry vegetarians. They angry at everyone that eats meat and say you're doing this and that's not right. People have a choice. They can either they can whatever they want to put in their refrigerator. Their refrigerator can be a morgue full of carcasses, or there can be a garden full of fruit and stuff. I have family members that eat meat, and if I visit them, if I'm visiting them and they want me to cook for something, I was like, hey, would you like me to cook something for you? What would you like? They'd be surprised that I don't have to taste it to make like a roast chicken or something for them. One video I would like to suggest is the Mad Cowboy, and I'm not advocating meat at all because it's toxic. It's really bad for you. But people do have a right to make their choice, and to not stress yourself out, you should let a person have their choice. Don't hate someone because they do eat animals or don't eat animals. That's their choice. And we would defy someone to change us. So we shouldn't try to change others. We can give them information just like now. I'm giving you information. What you do with it is up to you. You know. Okay. So we talked about the glad diet and the sad diet. So we need a new mindset. So to get a new mindset, what I decided, because I'm like, I can't afford this. It's too expensive. Grains, fruits, that stuff is expensive. So just like I know you've all heard what it takes 30 days to break a habit. So I'm a Christian, so I prayed. I'm like, Lord, I don't have money for this. I need to change my mindset. Help me. So I was like, okay, so what could I do? Plus, I went to different classes, different health classes and presentations and stuff. And so that's one of the reasons I got involved in doing it. And my ministry is called WOW, Week of Wellness or Weekend of Wellness, where you can do a workshop in a weekend, tell you about helpful things. So I was like, oh, okay, potato chips. I don't have to buy a bag of potato chips because I was a potato chip addict. I could buy some, instead of buying potatoes, I could buy a bag of beans and a bag of rice. I learned about using crock pots and cookers so I didn't have to stand over the stove and watch everything. We have to train the brain. We have to make it fun and colorful. Educate yourself. YouTube, books, videos. Make it fun. Make cooking fun. Try some. If you don't like it, cover it with tomato sauce, vegan cheese, mashed potatoes. Make a shepherd's pie out of it. Whatever. But don't give up. Don't give up. There's resources out there. There's people that will want to help you. Uh, Veg Fest is one of them. So don't give up. But you will feel better. There was a boxer I saw in the video, a young man. He was a boxer. And he thought he had to eat meat for the protein. But for some reason, he wanted to try vegetarianism. So he was quite surprised. After he tried vegetarianism, he was much, much stronger. And he had much more strength and energy. So he became, he was trying to, but he just said, I'm going to be, this is what I'm going to be. I'm giving up meat, period. And it helped him. So make it fun, make it colorful, educate yourself. There's movies out there, there's books, there's videos, and then invite your friends. Have them sample different stuff. You don't have to tell them what's in it. I mean, unless they have allergies. Like, I'm trying some, I'm experimenting. Make it a fun, make it a party. You know, there's just do everything. Make taste parties, share, have little critique cards or whatever. Just make it interesting. Replace your favorites with new ones. Okay. Like I remember one time I was like, well, okay, I'm trying not to eat potato chips because I was a potato chip addict, trying to eat real potatoes. And then I found recipes where you could cut your potatoes, you could season them and dehydrate them, whole potatoes, and they're really good. Or you can bake them in the oven if you don't want to dehydrate them, but they'll be raw the other way. But they're still good because you can season them, and it doesn't take a lot. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so you want to make sure that the favorites that you don't feel like you're just giving up everything. You don't have to just give up everything. You can make it fun. You can make it challenging. Um, things like that. Let me see. Oh, yes. One other thing that's very important too is read the labels. Read the labels. Uh, Sodium, you want to have a percent not too much higher than 14 to 17. But you can find things that are like 20 and 30% sodium. Yep. And I switched out with ramen noodles like that. The noodles are really horrible. I haven't eaten those in, has it been 10 years? It's been a long time. But you can use real noodles, spaghetti or whatever, because they don't digest well. And they even know, the company knows that they don't digest well. They're like 33% sodium, but people buy them, so they're going to keep selling them. People buy them, so they're going to keep selling them. Okay, so you can retrain your brain. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a class too on burgers. Do you know there's basic ingredients to a burger, and you can do all kind of stuff. And burgers are quick and they're easy. And if there's something that I'm saying that you don't like, find something that you do. You need a staple like rice in a burger. You can use oats and some kind of liquid. You can add nuts and grains and vegetables, all those things. But you just like beans, oats, and liquid tomato sauce or something like that. Make your basic burger. And if there's seasonings that you like say there's a taco mix that you like, or there's a steak marinade recipe that you like, you can try adding some of that into your burger. I don't suggest frying your burgers because frying is it changes the molecular structure of the oil and it's cancer causing. But you can bake. You can bake, and uh, or you can like fry that with a little bit of oil. Coconut oil and grapeseed oil are the best. But you don't really wanna like fry it. It's just enough to wet it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we do cooking classes and cooking demonstrations. And you can find those on YouTube and the internet. One that I like is the pair, the twin brothers, the happy pair. Yes, I love them. I like watching their videos. Raw food is the best food. You want to watch your oil, your salt, and your sugar. You want to stay away from the white sugar. If it's white, you want to stay away from it. White flour, white bread, and even some of your brown bread, you need to look carefully at. If you can squeeze it in a ball and it stays that way, it's not healthy. Whole wheat. Bread can be wheat. If it's not whole wheat, then it doesn't have the whole grain. Okay. Like I said, you want to read your labels. You want to know the difference between real food and fake food. If you want to try the vegetarian meats, okay, but don't stay on it because they have some of the same. They have like high sodium, nitrates, and different things. So just try it, temporarily. Uh, Keep it simple. Keep it simple. The cooking trend. One of the cooking trinities is onions, peppers, and celery. Okay. Another one is when I say peppers, I mean like bell peppers. Another one is, I'm trying to think, onions, garlic, and bell pepper. But the main one is using different things to season your food. Onions, garlic, celery, oregano, basil. These types of things really, really make a difference. Okay, so now uh, Oh, yes, I did want to talk to you a little bit about we'll get there, real food and fake food. Okay, natural remedies. What are natural remedies? Okay, this is from the Webster. This is from Webster. It says natural remedy, home remedy, medicine made with ingredients available at home. Home remedy. Okay, this is a natural remedy, a remedy made from plants or which use herbs, spices, or water therapy, diet, and other natural sources. One thing, okay, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Okay, like onions and garlic. When people were sick in the old days, they made soup with a lot of onions with a lot of garlic. Everyone know, well, not everyone, because you might not know. Garlic lowers your blood pressure. So if you have high blood pressure, garlic will help you do that. When I can't sleep, sometimes I'll boil some garlic and put some nutritional yeast flakes in it and have like a garlic soup with a little salt. And that'll help me sleep because the garlic helps your body relax. Garlic is also good for asthma. To really see how strong garlic is, if you don't believe me, cut a slice of garlic, about maybe this size of your thumbnail, and really thin. Put it between your toes, and within before 60 seconds, you'll be able to taste it in your mouth. It has gotten in your bloodstream and worked its way up. When in one of the war, I think it was World War I or II, when they ran out of penicillin, they used garlic for infection. Yes. All right. So, uh, the greatest medical book of all time. Raise your hand if you know what it is. Okay, the greatest medical book of all time is the Bible because we're created. We're created in God's image. And God, since God created us, then He knows. Just like Ford made the car, GMC made a car, so they know what make their car run. So He knows what makes our car run. Okay, so these are the natural. We're going to shift into the natural remedies. All right. And one thing too, health is a choice. Happiness is a choice. Now, there's things that we do get inherited, but if you don't do anything, then nothing's going to happen. And the mother of disease, if you haven't heard this before, is constipation. When you're constipated, then everything is blocked up. So it's leaking out into other areas and making it toxic. It's like having a sock full of dirt and then there's water in that and then the dirt leaks out of the sock because the dirt is not moving through the sock. That's why it's important to keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving. All right. So let me see how this is going to work. I'm sorry that the words are backwards, but we want to cherish our bodies because health is wealth. And so one of the natural remedies is divine trust, trusting in God who created us and who made us. It is something smarter and more intelligent than we are. I want to give them a note. So, because I don't want to forget anything because it's important. Okay, when you have trust, it takes away stress. It takes away anxiety. And stress and anxiety, when people get stressed and they go to the hospital, they do? They do a blood count, they check them because they may have an ulcer. Why? Or because of stress. Because that acid. There's a scripture that says, "A merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drieth up the bones," and that's true. Because when you're happy, your body releases endorphins, and endorphins are hormones that help your body heal. When you're upset, many times you already know. When you get upset, what happens? I can't eat, or I overeat, or I get an upset stomach, or my throat hurts. Different things happen when we get upset, or I get a migraine or a headache. And so trust is very, very important. All right. It keeps down the worry, the stress, and it helps keep your fibromyalgia at bay. Trust me. I know what I'm talking about. Because stress flares it up. And like I said, health is wealth. And you can't see this right here, but you want to help your body at a cellular level. Okay? And my little poster right here, it says the 5 needs of the cell. The cells in your body. Cells need oxygen, water, nutrition, they need waste elimination, and they need to keep the poisons out. the cells in your body, they die in 3 minutes. If your body doesn't have oxygen, you will die within 3 minutes. If you don't have water, your body will die in a few days. If you don't have nutrition, it will take several weeks for your body to die. If you can't get the waste elimination, you can't eliminate that waste, you could die in hours. And if you don't keep the poisons out, you will die prematurely. So that's very important. Now, if you haven't heard this quote, I'm going to tell you what it is now. It's a song also. It says disease, because it says dis-ease. Your body's not at ease. It is dis-ease. Disease is an effort of nature to, disease is an effort of nature to free the system from conditions that result from a violation of the laws of health. So whatever unhelpful things we're doing, unhelpful conditions have to be changed. First, they have to be, the cause of the sickness needs to be ascertained, need to find out what it is. The unhelpful conditions need to be changed. The wrong habits need to be corrected. And then nature is to be assisted in her effort to expel impurities and to reestablish right conditions in the system. This was found in a book called Ministry of Healing, page 127. It's in the first paragraph. And if you don't have that book, or if you're interested in knowing how to get it, please get in contact with me. All right. We talked about trust. Now, the program that I'm going, the natural remedies, there's 8 of them. They're called the 8 natural doctors. And I am a medical missionary, and I went to meet Ministries for Medical Missionary, and it was quite wonderful. And the acronym, when you put the acronym together, is GODSPLAN, God's Plan. Godly trust, open air, daily exercise, sunshine, proper rest, lots of water, abstinence, and nutrition. So we're going to go through all these, and I'm going to tell you this practical and the spiritual side. Okay, the practical side with the trust is that your body will physically relax if you trust in God. You shouldn't trust in a tree, but if that's your motivation, whatever you put your trust in, it's important. You trust, you relax. That will help you mentally, physically. It would help hormones come into your body and healing. So there's a physical side and a spiritual side. Okay, open air. Air. Fresh air is important. When you breathe, you get oxygen. That's going to help your body. That's going to help your pain level. Breathing helps your pain level when you get in fresh oxygen. Have you ever smelled something that stinks? It's gross. You want to smell something that's fresh, that's going to help your body. That's going to help you have a clear mind. That's going to help your blood be clear. That's going to help your body with the pain because you're getting oxygen in there. Okay, less oxygen means more pain. If you don't believe me, try holding your breath for 12 minutes. Okay. Now, it helps with happiness. It helps relieve stress. Same with trust. The next one is exercise. Daily exercise. People say, oh, I work and I'm up and down. I'm doing stuff. Working and exercise is different unless you're a gym instructor. Exercise is, if you walk, walking is the best exercise. Basically, most everybody can walk. Walking is a basic exercise. If you have a rebounder is great. I have a rebounder in my living room, and I rebound. I try and rebound at least 15 minutes every day. Okay, it's 1 day a week that I rest and I don't rebound. But what it does is it opens and closes the flaps in your arteries. Okay, because you have to go. They only open one way. So when you bounce up and come down, they open and close. And so that helps your lymph nodes. And they've done studies on the astronauts, if you haven't heard it before. When they come back from space, their muscle density is really, they've lost a lot. So when they rebound, it helps build up their muscle density. It's fun, it's good for your figure, and it's invigorating. Like get your little bitty trampoline and just do it. Have you ever noticed how kids do it? If you have a trampoline in your house, the kids go play on it and then they leave. Then they're going to come back and leave. It helps build up your energy, it boosts your morale, and it's fun. And so exercise with fibromyalgia, exercise is a lifeline. Exercise is a lifeline. It's very, very important because when you exercise, it helps reduce stress. It helps you moving around. So if you don't wear out, you're going to rust out. So when you do get ready to move, you're going to be in pain. And I know that you have to listen to your body because you don't want to exercise too much. You don't want to overextend too much. So if you listen to your body will tell you. Exercise is a lifeline. It's very, very important. So the next one is sunshine. Sunshine makes you feel good. And with my lupus, my mother was allergic to the sun. With my lupus, I'm not allergic to the sun. So if you're allergic to the sun, wear a hat. Don't trust the sunscreen, but wear a hat. And be out there because when it's sunny and bright, it makes you happy. Like, okay, Cleveland, Ohio, where it's very overcast, or maybe other areas, but people are very sad there, and there's high rates of suicide. And it's important to have a cheery, happy disposition. And you want to be happy, so you want to be in an environment that's going to help you be happy. Sunshine will do that. Exercise will help you be happy. Air will help you be happy. Trust will help you be happy. All these things have benefits. Okay? All these things help oxygen. They help your water, your body flow. They help the nutrients flow. They help get the waste out, and they help keep the poisons out. But you got to get the good nutrition and stuff in there. All right, so we've gone through godly trust, open air, daily exercises, and sunshine. If you can't do anything but go outside and just sit in the sun, that's fine. But if you can plant some flowers, if you can go for a walk, whatever, you can rebound outside. Getting outside, having the sunshine, and actually you can get all three. You can do all four of these. You can trust and be outside, walking, get your fresh air, get your exercise, and get your sunshine. Get them all in one shot. Now, rest. Rest is the next one. Proper rest is important. And with fibromyalgia, there's a lot of issues with it, with insomnia, not being able to sleep. And so, for me, sleeping had became a production. No, and I went to a women's program, and there's a lot of things I found that I didn't know. It's important to like stay away from the TV or the computer a couple hours because that blue light, it just keeps your body from really resting and getting the sleep that it needs. So you want to cut it off 2 hours. Some of y'all not gonna listen. It's okay. Try an hour. Leave, put everything away. Take the TV out the bedroom. You know who you are. Take the laptop out the bedroom. Take the tablet out the bedroom. And get some sleep. Sleep in the dark. And you know what's so funny? Okay, one time I had a mouse. I didn't want to really sleep in the dark. So I had all the lights on in the bedroom, right? But I bought this mask at Dollar Tree. But you know what? Your body can still feel the light. So I got used to wearing the mask, but then I started cutting the light off. But I still, for some reason, wearing the mask was really comforting over my eyes. So even though the light's off, I'll still sometimes put something on my eyes. But you want to have proper sleep. All sleep, you don't get to rest. So it's important to have proper sleep, proper rest. That's important. That's the P of the plan, to get the proper rest. And the best hours is between 9:30. Maybe between like 9 and 9:30. If you can, no later than 10, because those hours of sleep is like 2 hours before midnight. If you get 1 hour before midnight, it's like 2. But don't try to cheat, because I'm be watching. But it's important to get the proper rest. And if you need things to rest, I use valerian root, and that helps me settle down so I can sleep. Some of us are thinkers, and we just think and think and think and think and think, and it takes a while for us to shut our body down. So sometimes, or our mind, not necessarily our body or mind. So there, it has to be like a reduction. A shower, a bubble bath, excuse me, something hot to drink, different things to help our bodies rest so that we can go to sleep. Okay, don't want to miss anything. Water, no rest. If you have to take a nap, take a nap. A lot of times our body will say it needs rest and we won't listen, we'll keep going. If your body says it needs rest, especially if you're over 50, you ought to do it. You ought to do it because it will come back on you. When you'll be laying down, you won't be able to get up. Your body will say, oh, you're not listening, you didn't listen to me, you're going to listen to me now because I'm taking a siesta. And I think that's what happened with me and what happens with the system with people with fibromyalgia. If you have that episode where you're down and you can't get up, we've overexerted and your body just has to take a break. So proper rest is very important. So y'all been looking at this for a while, so you ought to be able to read the words backwards, right? No. So the next one is water. Water, 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 water. Not Kool-Aid, not soda, not coffee, not milk. Water, 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 water. Water in and water out. That's what it's all about. Water, water, water. Water helps everything flow. Water helps your pain. It helps reduce your pain. Water helps your mind. Helps you be clear thinking. Drinking water. And the best thing to do as far as how much water should I drink? The 8 to 9 glasses is the best. One time I was drinking so much water, I was washing away all my electrolytes. The cutting your weight in half and multiplying it doesn't work. And I can say that is my personal opinion. If you weigh 300 or 400 pounds, you can't drink that much water. If you drink that much water, you could probably drown yourself. So you want to make sure that you drink at least 8 cups of water. And the lemon water in the morning, and a quart, the juice of a half a lemon or a whole lemon if you like it sour, and a quart of fresh water, it will help your body. It's going to help your pain level. It's going to help your waste elimination. It's going to help get the poisons out. It's going to help the nutrients. It's going to help the oxygen. So when they talk about the lemon water, they know what they're talking about. The lemon is acid when it's not in your body, but when it's in your body, it's alkaline. And that helps when you do your exercise, all these things, the water helps because it helps keep things flowing. If you're angry, mad, you might be constipated. Water will help the constipation. In the morning, like I said, the lemon water is wonderful. If you're worried about it with your teeth, brush your teeth after you do your lemon water or swish with fresh water, things like that. But lemon water in the morning, and then when you drink your water, you don't want to just like drink it a pint at a time. If you're thirsty, but just know that when you drink it a lot, it bypasses the kidneys and just flushes through. You want to drink your water like maybe 4 ounces at a time. So you drink it through the day. Now some people say, I can't do that because I don't want to be going to the bathroom after I go to bed. But if you get your water in before maybe 3 o'clock, then you may not have that problem. Whatever works for you. You have to listen to your body. You know, you've never listened to your body before. Your body be like, hey, I'm trying to talk to you. Like, go on and do your business. Somebody is trying to tell you, hey, I'm trying to talk to you, and we don't listen to our body. I didn't listen to mine, so I had to start listening to my body. So water, 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 water. What did I say? Water, 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 water. Okay. Also, oh, yes, hot and cold. I do hot and cold therapy. And hot and cold helps you breathe and it helps you exercise. Why? Because when you do 3 minutes, as hot as you can take it in the shower, and then you switch it and turn on the cold for 30 seconds to a minute. I've been doing that this past week. A few months ago, I did it Monday through Friday for 3 weeks. In the morning when I got up and before I go to bed. So it's absolutely twice a day. And you will see your skin will get a nice red glow. And that's what that is your body is getting oxygen because you can't breathe calm in a cold shower and you can't breathe calm in a hot shower. So you breathe in, it's helping you breathe in, helping you get that oxygen. Your body is exercising because the blood is circulating when it's hot and then it's stopping when it's cold. So your body is exercising. And it's helping with your stress because it's helping your body relax. Now, you should do that for a cycle of 3. If you have any questions, get a hold of me of the things that I'm sharing with you, and I'll make sure you get them in written form. So, or you can get the video and you can watch it on your own. And if you got any questions, then you can comment. So, the water therapy is important. Now, if you have heart condition or anything, you should talk to your doctor because you may not be able to do hot and cold like that. You may have to do just a foot bath or something like that. So, you need to understand what's going on with yourself. But this is a wonderful therapy, and you do it in sessions of 3. Because it's like exercising your body. Hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. And you're done in about 15 minutes. Okay? Now, the last one, nobody wants to hear it. They're like, don't touch my plate. Right, because you have to touch your plate. The last two, abstaining and nutrition. Not all things in moderation. Not all things in moderation. Not all things in moderation. Some things we should not be eating. Some things are not food. Some things that we shouldn't eat, it's not that it's bad. Everything that we shouldn't eat is bad, but it may be bad for me, but it may not be bad for you. Okay? I'll just give you the worst example, like grubs. There are people that eat grubs. Worms and fat worms. I don't know about the protein level, but personally, I'd rather have beans. Or a hot dog carrot. A carrot hot dog. Sorry, I got it backwards. That's another story. So, but some things, people, and you have to make your own choice. Red meat, all the meat is the same as far as on your system. It's all hard in your system. It all has hormones, and it has carrier disease. The life of the flesh is in the blood. Whatever the animal has is transferred to us when we eat it. If you want to hear a hilarious story, look on YouTube at the Mad Cowboy. The disease, when you can look this up in general, it's just general information. They've done studies. When there was a break of leukemia, it was in the animals. They've even had to change the nutrition chart because they were promoting different things like dairy and meat and things like that in the food pyramid. And there's a gentleman that's talking about, like with the dairy, having dairy in the pyramid, that there are people who get deathly sick from dairy, and telling them that they have to have this for nutrition when it's not true is perpetuating illness in certain groups of people who are allergic to it, because you're telling them that's the only way they can be healthy, and they believe this and they continue to drink this when it's not healthy. People where they have a lot of dairy, like I think it's Switzerland. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but they do a lot of it, but they have the highest rate of osteoporosis. It doesn't help your bones. Grains, fruits, nuts, and vegetables. There's fake foods. There's spaghetti. There's whole grain spaghetti. There's spaghetti made with legumes. Okay, those are better than the unless it's whole wheat flour. And some people say, I don't like whole wheat pasta, it's gummy. Try other types. I'm hoping to show you some different types in part 2 of this video. Okay, so abstaining means abstain from things that are bad for you. Caffeine, nicotine, alcohol, some over-the-counter drugs. It's not made for the systems. The body is not cured by a single pill in 5 minutes when we've been abusing our body for years. It's not going to happen. The things that we crave will send us to our grave. Have you heard that one? The things that we crave will send us to our grave. We want to eat real food. Real potatoes better than potato chips. Okay, I'm not saying never have a bag of potato chips, because you know you're going to have a bag of potato chips. Okay, but with all the salt and all the oil, don't binge on it. It's better to eat the real food. And then maybe later on you can give up, but real potatoes are better than potato chips. Okay, but I'm not going to tell you what you have to do, because that's not my position. I'm just here to give you good information. And I pray that you run with it and that you do well. Do better than me. All right, the last one is diet, real food. But I talked about, that we do all this abuse to our body, and then we're like, okay, I just all of a sudden got sick. And you've been feeding all this stuff in for years, and you've been sick over years, okay? So, depending on how bad you want health, will depend on what you stop eating and what you start eating. Don't look at what you're losing, looking at what you're gaining. You're gaining more strength, you're gaining more energy. Like I said before, fat, sick, and nearly dead, forks over knives, the mad cowboy. There's a testimonies all over the place. And if you haven't seen them, you need some more information, give me a call. All right. The last remedy. I'm going to sit down and tell you about this one. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this, then I'm going to tell you the last thing, then we're going to switch to part 2. All right. There's laws for health. There's laws. In the Bible, in Exodus, it says, if you diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord your God and do that which is right in his sight and give ear to his commandments, there's health laws, keep his statutes, he'll put none of these diseases upon thee, which he have brought upon the Egyptians. For I am the Lord that healeth thee. God made us. He heals us. He knows what we made of. And that divine trust, I didn't make these laws. These laws are in Genesis, the first chapter. They're all in Genesis. And so, like I was saying, disease is the effort of nature. So disease is our friend. It's the effort of nature to free the system from conditions that result from a violation of the laws of health. So, like I said before, the result, the case of sickness, the cause needs to be ascertained, the unhelpful conditions need to be changed and wrong habits corrected, and then nature is to be assisted in her effort to expel impurities and reestablish right conditions. So if we want to be healthy, it's a choice. Now, before we get into part 2, and part 2 is going to be very interesting. Part 2, I'm going to be taking you into my home, into my kitchen, and sharing some things with you. But this last little plus of the natural remedies, number 9, there's basically 8 laws, but number 9 is gratitude. Gratitude. Happiness is a choice. Make a decision. Move, change. You can make a decision and not move. If you make a decision, say, if I make a decision, I'm going to drink more water. But if I don't pick up this glass and drink more water, then there's going to be no change. You got to do whatever. Then there's a mental action. There has to be a physical action. You have to make a change. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting to change when it's not going to do a change. Appreciation increases value. Health is wealth. If you don't appreciate your health, you're not going to do anything. It's not going to come by osmosis. I'm not going to say like, I'm going to drink the water. I'm going to drink the water. I have to drink it. Appreciation increases value of something. If the more you appreciate your health, get up, do something. You can't say, well, my mama was sick, my daddy was sick, because they did the same thing over and over and over and over and over. Hereditary loads the gun, but lifestyle pulls the trigger. You can change your health by the choices that you make. Do something for somebody else. Pay it forward. Make a card. Make a call. Make some cookies. Do something for somebody and put joy in your heart. Let us stop being selfish. And it will bring healing to our soul. So, with that, we are going to prepare for part 2. I will see you in my kitchen. Hello, and welcome to my kitchen. Okay, I pray you enjoyed the first part, and I don't have a cameraman. It's just me. So I'm going to be sharing some of these things that's going to help you with your fibromyalgia, eating healthy and whole food. Stay away from as much processed food as you can. Okay, and I did look at I checked out the video, right? And I know you were laughing when I told you that it was backwards. It was backwards for me. But the words, when I looked at the video, they were correct. So I hope you had a good laugh because I looked up like, oh, it's not backwards. So, all right. So you want to eat as healthy as possible. You want to eat whole foods. Now, some people might be saying, well, I don't know how to do that. It's expensive. Let me show you a couple of my tools. Now, you think it may cost a lot? Go to the thrift store if your thrift store is open because of COVID. But people will pay for what they want. Okay? If you, and I'm not picking on anybody at all, but if you can spend $20, $30 to get your nails done, get your hair done, okay, ladies, calm down. Okay, you want to get some new tires on your car, get your car waxed, brothers, the money will come out. So we want to put good gas in our bodies like we put good gas in our cars. We want to look good, feel good, smell good. We also want to eat good. We can't expect to put garbage in our body and for our body to just run fine and run great. We got to put better stuff in our bodies. So I'm going to show you a couple of my kitchen tools. This is a rice cooker. It's very economic. You can find rice cookers for little or nothing. You can look for rice cookers at Walmart or a thrift store. That's what I meant to say, not Walmart. I meant to say a thrift store. This has a setting for white. Stay away from anything white rice, white bread, but I'm just saying it has that for brown rice. You can cook slow cooking this. You can delay it. I looked this up. I got this at a thrift store, and I looked it up on YouTube and to get the instructions and to work it. So I said, I'm going to try this. So I put some cereal in here, some oatmeal. Was it oatmeal? And my no, it was brown rice. And so I set it for in the morning. I set it for like 8 hours. And I went to bed, and like an hour before I got up, it cooked. And like I said, look around at your thrift stores. You don't have to buy brand new, but you can use it. And what I like about this one is that it comes with a steamer. You can put cook your rice in it or your whole grains. Or, did I say beans? You can cook a multitude of things in here. If you don't have any idea, look on YouTube. And there's a rack. And what I did the other day was I put potatoes on the rack and I steamed the greens on the top. I had some fresh greens that I just steamed like that. All right. Here is another wonderful kitchen tool. It's called a food processor. And it chops and dices. You put the food here, it spins. And I also got this at the store. It's very economical. It's very fun. You may use these tools a lot, or you may use them very little, depending on how natural, how healthy you want to eat. Because you don't have to do a lot of chopping and stuff. You just want to make it simple as possible. I don't use these every day, but when I use them, I make a point to try and use them thoroughly. This right here is, I've never had an Instapot or owned an Instapot. I heard they're good. There's many different ones out there. You don't have to get this one. This is the one that I have. This is a crock pot. This does meat and beans and rice, yogurt. It slow cooks. It doesn't have a delay, but it does pressure canning. It does pressure cooking also. So if you want something done fast, you can pressure cook it. You can set your temperature high or low. You can adjust it if you're making, dessert or soup or multigrain, like you have like a different kind of rice melody that has 4 or 5 different kinds of rice in it. And just follow the instructions. If you get one from the thrift store and you don't have the instructions, look on YouTube. Very easy, very simple to clean. And I love this little wonder. And it cooks chickpeas very well. Chickpeas are my favorite pea. And they're so hard to cook because they cook a long time. But I pressure can them in here in like 40 minutes. And they were much softer than out the can. Okay. This right here is a juicer. This is a centrifuge juicer. And I bought this brand new at a thrift store for $20. It's a very good juicer. Like I said, it was brand new. This one is a Bella. And I don't juice every day. I'm not a juicer every day. But sometimes I will juice. Here's a sample of my juice. This is kale, cilantro, celery, ginger, cucumber. And I juice like 3 or 4 bottles of these at a time. I put a couple in the freezer. So then when I get ready to take it out, I'll let it sit for a day and it'll thaw. Now you can do more than that, but it only leave 3 out at a time. And then you don't have to juice every day. That was a centrifuge juicer. This right here is a masticating juicer. My daughter bought this for me because I've been wanting one for a long time. And she found one on the internet. And what it does is the juice is better quality because it's slow. The centrifuge juicer is fast. I've got different juices at the thrift store for as low as $4 or $5. Get what you can afford and start small. The Lord will bless your effort. So this juicer was under $100. You've seen them all over for $300, $400, $500, $600. This does what I wanted to do. And I'm very happy with this. It's easy to clean. And the juice lasts longer. And because it's juice processed at a lower speed. It's called masticating because it goes slow. And I'm going to be doing a demonstration at the end of this video. Now for the number one love of my life. Let me show you. And of course you'll be seeing it when you see my other juice. This is my Vitamix. I love my Vitamix. I can use it for all kind of things. I went and picked muscadines a few weeks ago, and I wasn't sure what to do with them, if I was going to make muscadine jelly or sauce like I had done before. So one of my friends said she puts them right in the Vitamix because it has a lot of seeds, and the seeds are very hard. And she said it blends them up. So I tried it. When I got home from picking, I washed them. I put about 5 or 10 in my Vitamix and blended them, and it was smooth, very smooth. So I froze my muscadines in bags of 20s in the freezer, and so then I would take it out, put it in my Vitamix, and blend it with some other things, some soaked rice, some green powder, and blend it, and it was smooth, and I got all the nutrition and the energy, and it was wonderful. So this is my main tool. And like I said, I don't use it every day. You don't have to use it every day because we're busy people. All right? Okay. Okay. Oh, now something else I want to tell you. Again, I want to thank you all for being here at the VegFest TV. Now, if you're getting this video on VegFest TV is over, it's just a plug. It's a program that we had. If it's after, because we're going to make this video be available to the public. I forgot what I was going to say. That's old age. Okay, I forgot. But thank you again for watching this program. I pray you're blessed by it. And like I said, I don't have a cameraman, so I'm going to try and do the best I can. I want to express the importance of eating whole foods. Like a lot of people say, well, I don't like this, I don't like that. If you try it, your body can become accustomed to it. Your body How many of you have ever drank alcohol or anything? First it tastes nasty because it is nasty. But your body gets used to it because you want to drink it. So it's same with all these different healthy things. Try them, help you let your body get acclimated to them, and you'll like them. Excuse me, I just want to adjust this a little bit. Let's see if that helps. Okay, so let's get started. A lot of things, if you don't like the taste of them, just don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Try to do something different. Let me show you some of these grains. This is brown rice. And if you don't like brown rice, always rinse your rice. Because of the way they process it, always rinse it. Always pick your beans and rinse your beans. Brown rice, you can make it savory, you can add vegetables to it, or you can add, there's different spices here, like this is one. Always watch your salt content. You don't want anything really over 15% salt. This is the Celtic salt. And now I know it's backwards to me, but it's right to y'all. It's cayenne pepper. I put my Celtic salt in a shaker. There's Jamaican seasonings that you can try. Let me show you, please. I got these in Huntsville, Alabama. No, I got these in Clarksville, Tennessee. But you can add all kinds of things to rice. Red cayenne pepper. Then I got your spices right here. Oregano, basil, onion powder, garlic powder, or you can eat it plain. You can add dry fruit to it. You can add gravy, tomato sauce, vegan, vegetarian cheese, whatever. So you got your brown rice. And it's whole food. And brown rice is very good for stress. It helps your body get the B vitamins that you need. Here's oatmeal. There's different kind of oats. There are steel cut oats. This is the old fashioned and the quick oats. The quick oats are just the old fashioned oats cut up more. This is a whole grain, a whole wheat grain. You can eat it like a rice, or you can eat it like a cereal. How many of you, when you were small, your mother would make white rice, butter, sugar, and milk, or just butter and sugar and have it for breakfast? You can do this without the butter and sugar. You can use agave. Okay, you can use maple syrup. You can use molasses. There's plenty of natural sweetness. This right here, this is a large bag, but this right here is natural sugar. You've seen it at the Dollar Tree in a much smaller bag. I got this at a different store. Now, when you look right here, it says bone char free. And what that is telling you is that it's not processed with the charred bones of animals. They process white sugar with charcoal, and they found that they can take the bones of dead animals, of course they're dead, and they char the bones, and then they filter the sugar through it. And also the white sugar is processed with albumin, which is the blood product. So all sugar is not vegan, and that sugar is very inexpensive. Let's look at a couple of other whole grains. Here, pinto beans, navy beans, which is one of my favorites. Okay, split peas. These are orange split peas. You can use green split peas. There's different colored green peas. There's lentils. There's all kind of beans. These are the chickpeas. And you can do whatever flavor you want. These are the red beans. You can have red beans in rice. You can have any of these things in rice. If you want to make it sweet, you can add allspice to it. You can add a soy milk or almond milk if you want to make it sweet. If you want to make it savory, you can put sage and things like that. You can use quinoa, all different kinds of things. If you have any questions, give me a call. Okay. Now, when you're cooking, you want to try and use the real flavor. This is real coconut versus imitation, because imitation has chemicals, different things. If you can, try and stick with the real flavoring. Okay, I showed you the sweetener, the agave, there's maple syrup, there's all kinds. This is a non-aluminum baking powder. It's called Featherweight. There's other kinds. There's Rumford. There's other kinds, because the regular baking powder has aluminum in it. And aluminum will leave deposits on your brain and cause Alzheimer's. Also, using aluminum cookware. That's why you want to stay away from aluminum cookware. Okay, I want to show you the noodles. These are whole grain rice ramen. Right. You don't have to eat the unhealthy ramen. You can probably order it if you can't, if you don't see it in your store, or you can ask your store to order it. Uh, Here is a soybean spaghetti. Okay. I don't necessarily look for organic, but I wanted to try these different flavors. This one is an edamame, and I've had this one before. It's really good. And this one right here is a black bean spaghetti. I've had this one too. It's really, really, really good. You can't really say you don't like it until you try it. Now this right here is a Garden Delight spaghetti. You see that? Okay, this spaghetti is made with carrots and spinach and tomatoes and wheat. It does contain wheat. So it's pretty cool. When you're cooking, I showed you that grain. There's olive oil, grapeseed oil. When you're doing rice and different things, if you want to try something different, just try a little bit at a time. This is sesame seed oil. And sesame seed oil gives a different flavor to your rice, your whole grains, and other things that you cook with. It's really a flavor. It makes the flavor taste good. And it's just the oil from sesame seeds. Okay. These are chia seeds. You can do a lot of different things with chia seeds instead of just having a chia plant. They're very healthy. They're good for your bowels. They're good for your fiber, for your colon. And these are flax seeds. You can grind them and put them. They have omega-3s and I believe omega-6. These are golden flax seeds. I don't think you can really, yeah, you can see them like that. I have a pretty decent camera. Okay, these are mung beans. I have another video that shows how to make your mung bean sprouts very fast. This is a sprouter. If you're in a sprouter or you want to try it, you could just use a mason jar with a nylon stocking held on by the ring or a rubber band. Soak your seeds, put them in here, and there's different layers. You put your seeds in, you just put the water in, and it drains down. And I got this at a thrift store. And make your own sprouts. Okay, for you coffee drink, nuts. There's a variety of nuts. Right here, I only have almonds, but there's almonds, walnuts, pecans, cashews, all types of things. You can put your nuts in your beans. You can put them in your grains. You can put your vegetables in there. You can make it with tomato sauce. You can make it with a gravy. You can make it with a vegan cheese sauce. These two things, this is called Cafix and this is called Roma. If you're a coffee drinker and you get those caffeine blues, coffee has like 20 something different ingredients that are not helpful for the body. This one right here is made from roasted barley, rye, chicory, and sugar beets. This one is made from roasted barley, malt barley, roasted chicory, and roasted rye, a whole grain. And so it gives you the flavor. You can make it as strong as you want. I've used it even to make frappe and cappuccino when you mix it with ice and milk. And then you put your I use coconut whipped cream that's like the ready whip that goes whoosh, and it's quite good. Now remember I was telling you about the lemon water. Okay, with the lemon water, if you don't want to buy fresh lemons and do that, this is what I've been doing this past week. I bought this for a cleanse right here, and it's really fresh lemon. It's a little bit expensive, but it's worth it. I think this bottle's like $7. But I put it in the ice tray, and so instead of squeezing lemons every day, I put in the ice tray. And then when the cubes froze, I put them in Ziploc bags. And so I take an ice cube out every day and put it in my quart of water, warm water. And I have my lemon water. I don't have to squeeze. All I have to do is put my cube in my water, and then I have lemon water. And this is straight. Doesn't have any fillers or any junk like those other different things. But it's just lemon juice, and it's full strength. Okay. So our next, use onion and garlic to season things. And you can eat, if you don't want to always cut up things, you can buy things in the store. Like in the frozen foods, you can buy the Stir fry vegetables you can buy. They have the peppers, onions, and it was something. But it's peppers, onions, and celery. They call it a soup mix. You can buy those, put those in the freezer, saute those when you get ready. You can put them in your rice, your beans, and they're very good. Or you can use fresh garlic. I love fresh garlic. Uh, Pineapple really is the only thing that I buy in a can, maybe part hearts or palm, but I try to go frozen or fresh. And once you get in the habit of learning, it really becomes very easy, and you do save money. All right, and these are just pineapple tidbits. You can mix your pineapples with your grains for a cereal. Okay, so our next part, I'm going to be showing how to help you make, how to do the juice so that you can have juice to help your nutrition, that's going to help your fibromyalgia, to help reduce your inflammation. And see, processed foods increase inflammation. That's why you want to eat whole-based foods. That's part of the natural remedy plan. That's part of God's plan for your health. And it doesn't take much. It just takes the know-how. And hopefully I will help you to get the know-how that you need. And remember, those box cereals that come in a box, if you read the labels, you'll see that there's not a lot of nutrition. They have to take the wheat and take the stuff out and then put more stuff in it. And it's like having a $20 bill and someone steals it and gives you 10 back. So you've been enriched, but have you really? Okay, stay tuned for part 3, the juicing. Hi there. This is the other section of my kitchen. I'm going to tell you a little bit about some things. The main thing with fibromyalgia is that you want to reduce inflammation. Uh, you want to feed the body. We talked about the whole foods. That's very important for a healthy body. Uh, and that's the diet that God made us for. I don't have my turmeric in front of me, but turmeric is vital because it works for inflammation. When I travel, I take turmeric vegetarian capsules. And I'm just telling you what I do. I do between 5 and 10 capsules. That's like a couple of tablespoons, 2 to 3 times a day. And depending on if you have a lot of inflammation, a lot of pain. And when I'm able to be at home, then I make a turmeric paste. And you can find that recipe on YouTube, a turmeric paste. And then I'll mix it with soy milk or rice milk and heat that up and drink that a couple times a day. But you want to have enough for it to work. And since it's a food, it shouldn't interfere uh, with any medication. And I'm just telling you what I do. This is what I do. You have to follow whatever I don't prescribe. I'm not a doctor, but these are things that have helped me. Uh, so that is basically what I'm saying. So I'm gonna show you the centrifuge juicer and show you a couple of my favorite juices. One of them is ginger and green apple. I'm also hypoglycemic, so I try and keep my sugar down. And the properties of the green apple is pretty good. I have my green apples. I have my ginger. I like a lot of ginger. And if you're watching, Cynthia is a very wonderful friend of mine. She is the lifestyle counselor director at Living Springs in Roanoke, Alabama. I was a volunteer there and a guest there. And she is the ginger queen. And I want to make special mention of her because she is a wonderful person. And so I want to show her putting in extra ginger because I really like ginger. So also what I do, another trick, well, this is the part that catches the pulp. I put in a bag so I don't have to wash this. I just take the bag out. And also as I'm doing my different things, I add a little bit of pure water to rinse, get all the juice from it so that none of it gets wasted. Okay, so I've already cut up my apples and my ginger, and I'm going to turn it on high. Oh, first, I got to plug it in. It won't work if you don't plug it in. Okay. Okay. I always put a little cup under it because it's going to keep running when you're done. Now I'm going to put taste like this. It looks green, like the green apple. It's very good. It's very good. I like ginger. Ginger is very good. To Cynthia. All right. Now, I'm not going to drink all this goodness right now, so I'm going to save it. Put it in the refrigerator. All right, that was 3 apples and a couple of thumbs of ginger. The best way I found to peel it is the back of a spoon or a knife. And when it's moist, the skin comes off very easy. This next juice, green, is like a blood transfusion. When you go to the doctor, they always do a blood count. Now, when you look at the molecular structure of blood and of chlorophyll in the greens, it's exactly the same. The only difference is the nucleus. And the nucleus of our blood is iron, and the nucleus of the greens is magnesium. And magnesium is very good for electric conductivity, like for our muscles and things like that. Because when you go to the hospital, if you have heart problem, what do? They give you an EKG so they can check the pulse in your heart because we are electronically stimulated, even though we may be emotionally controlled. So it's important to have a good electronic impulse because we have frequency. And so that's why it's important to wear natural fibers. If you have fibromyalgia, it's important to wear natural fibers, cotton, silk, wool, things like that. That's going to help the nerves in your body. And when it's warmer, you may have, even when it's warm and you feel cold, it's your nerves. Because I used to think, why am I cold? And it's not cold, it's because of my nerves. And like I was saying, you may have to wear layers, but you can wear thin layers. And if there's a lot, I wear long sleeves and I wear leggings. People are like, why aren't you hot? Your body really acclimates to it. And people don't think, people in the desert in those other countries, they're clothed all over. But they wear light clothing. They don't wear heavy clothing. They wear layers. They wear light. And so if you want even circulation, then your limbs need to be covered. If your limbs are not covered, then they're going, even though you may not feel chilled, they're going to be chilled. And so your blood is not going to flow properly. Okay. All right, so now this juice is different. This is our basic green juice. And if you start off, say, with a quarter cup once or twice a day, the benefits, you won't believe. You will not believe. Okay, so today we're going to do cucumber and kale. You can get a bunch of kale for less than $1. We're also going to do celery and parsley. So let's start with the parsley. And let me see. We're going to see if I don't think I need to clean it. If I do, I will, but let's see. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's try this one. First, we're going to pour it in the jar. Some people sift the foam off, but I'm going to just mix it in. If I stir it, I'm going to mix it in. Isn't that a pretty color? You don't want to do green juice at night. It's going to keep you awake because it's so vitalizing for your system. It brings in oxygen, nutrition. It helps your blood circulate, so it helps with your pain. And if you want it sweeter, add apples to it. I didn't add apples to this because I have the other, but it's quite good. And like if it's like I said, you can add apples. You want to make it a little bit more sweeter. I would use green apples. And I hope this video will be a blessing to you. Do not forget the turmeric. Do not forget the 8 laws of health. Don't forget about gratitude. Appreciation increases value. Help somebody else. Continue to support vegfesttv.com. And I want to dedicate this video to my 2 lovely daughters, Desiree Flanoy and Dorothy Nelson. All right, thank you so much for watching.